why you don't run Oufi Heathcliff in Tremor, specifically in things like Refraction Railway and story bosses. The answer is quite simple. It's just opportunity cost. You don't run Oufi Heathcliff because the current six all do something that he can't, and they're all important to the team. He can't replace any of them, basically. So the current six is Regret Faust, Yuridivi Ryoshu, Yuridivi Honglu, LCCB Ishmael, Roast Manor Rodian, and Muller Otis. Okay, so start with the obvious one, the new two, the two newer ones. Yuridivi Honglu. Why is he important? It's because he has the Frog Ego, Cavernous Wailing. It applies reverb. Reverb's the best type of tremor. Oufi Heathcliff cannot apply reverb, therefore he cannot fill that niche. Yuridivi Ryoshu. Yuridivi Ryoshu, her job is just to inflict a lot of tremor count. Oufi Heathcliff only has tremor count on a skill one. So she can't really be replaced. Her job is actually pretty important in boss fights, so you cannot really kick her out. You run into a lot of count issues if you actually do kick her out. Regret Faust is just good all around. She has 3 count skill one. She works as like a backup count if that works with Ryoshi to give extra count. She has 5 potency skill two. Potency is really important for Tremor because the faster you get potency, the easier you can stagger. The more damage you do with reverb, more likely it is to get extra burst with everlasting. She has 3 bursts on skill three. 3 bursts good with reverb. It means you do 3x the potency is sloth damage. It's good, and she has everlasting. Best new option you have in a Tremor team. So Oufi Heathcliff can't really stack up to any of that either. LCCB Ishmael. LCCB Ishmael has 16 potency and 4 count on her skill 2. Again, we talked about why potency is really good. Um, Oufi Heathcliff does not have that much potency, and even if you did want to use Oufi Heathcliff, you still want to run LCCB Ishmael anyways because it allows you to use Decay on turn 1 or turn 2. Um, if you don't run LCCB Ishmael, you might run to a bit of a potency issue. So yeah, you basically always want to run LCCB Ishmael in a Tremor team, barring one exception. Rosmana Rodian. Rosmana Rodian is like a bit more iffy, but the thing is she also has 12 potency on her skill 2 as well. Second best application after LCCB Ishmael and Everlasting Faust. She has neutral bursts, which means she doesn't consume her tremor count, then she applies when she's bursting tremor. This means you don't have to worry about the tremor stack disappearing if you use her bursts. 2 bursts on skill 2, 1 burst on no 2 bursts on skill 3, 1 burst on skill 2, +1 count on skill 1. And again, with reverb, bursts are really important, so having those bursts is very useful. And again, Oufi has a single kind of burst that also overrides the reverb, which means he really can't stack up to that either. He can't replace the potency application she has on skill 2 either. Last member, Muller Otis. Muller Otis has 3 bursts on skill 3. She has a single burst on skill 2, but it's conditional. But she's a discard unit, which means she most likely won't, she more often than not will not have to deal with having skill 1s. Which means that the fact that she has 3 bursts means she's already irreplaceable. There's more reasons for it, like it's sloth. You want to sloth res with everlasting for really large nuke turns. 3 bursts with everlasting multiplying them, really strong. And Oufi Heathcliff can't really replicate any of that. So what does Oufi Heathcliff actually bring? Like, what is he good for? He has damage, but damage got outsourced to reverb and tremor, so that's less important nowadays. And he has mediocre tremor application, but all the IDs that I mentioned that are dedicated to applying tremor have way better tremor application than him. And he has high clashes. But clashes don't matter if the enemy's staggered, so yeah, or dead, depending. Where is he actually useful? Mirror Dungeon, because you don't need high potency application or high count application in Mirror Dungeon because you can outsource that to ego gifts. So LCCB Ishmael is now a quite bad option for Tremor. You might even run Molar Ishmael instead of LCCB, or you can run Oufi Heathcliff. Multiple enemies, you don't have to worry about decay overriding your reverb as often, and burst doesn't really matter because it's a chain fight, and you can just kind of run those over anyways. And in order to run those over, you want to be able to win clashes. Oufi Heathcliff, good for that. And in summary, yeah, this basically you just don't run Oufi because he can't replace the niches that other IDs in Tremor actually replace, actually have, specifically against stuff like Refraction Railway and um, story bosses. And yeah,